Hello. Welcome to our Monkchat radio, 106 megahertz. And also welcome listeners from the podcast in our YouTube who follow our YouTube channel, Monkchat MCU. All right. So every afternoon, from 4:15 to 4:55, every day, Monday to Friday, we will meet each other here in Monkchat radio. And today, our Dharma that we're going to discuss, I also will have, my special guest. He attended one-day meditation in our Monkchat program. His name is Mr.
Leandro.
Leandro. He's come from Brazil. All right. So this is a great experience. For him to learn about Buddhism, and today he's my partner to discuss different topics and questions about Buddhism meditation. As he curious and want to discuss, and listeners also will learn with my partner as well. First of all, I will let him introduce himself. All right. So hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Before anything, it's a pleasure to have the chance to talk to everybody. So,
Good.
Hi, listeners. Thank you, Son, for the invitation. I'm very honored to be here, have the chance to talk to everybody. So, my name is Leandro. I'm traveling around Asia. So, I'm Brazilian. I'm traveling about around Asia for 6 months now. I'm planning to do another 6 or 7, 8 months. Not only to see all the beauties, nature beauties in the country, but also to get to know better the culture.
Very nice.
And also get to know the most as I can the way that you live, the way you do things, and you seem to do things so differently and so happier. So why not to understand better how do you live here?
So I got Mr. Andrew. Sorry,
Leandro. It's a difficult name, no problem.
Yeah, Mr. Leandro here because he attended our one-day meditation in Monkchat. So I will let him share, a little bit of his understanding, about the introduction, to Buddhism and meditation. After he attended for one day, what his understanding toward Buddhism. This is also one of the interesting thing, as a foreigners who are new to Buddhism, who are not really familiar with our Buddhist tradition. How do you feel after you have learned this meditation course with Buddhist monk?
Yeah, sure. So, of course, it was a very intense day. So it's a lot of things. So every time I'm exposed to a lot of learnings, I try to at least pick the 2 or 3 main things that I'll try to keep in my mind.
Right.
But before today, all I knew about Buddhism was what I heard from tour guides or even visiting temples. So I didn't know much things, but I already knew some about Buddha's history, how he was from the royalty and how he decided to get to know the real life. And then he understood that things weren't the way he thought it to be. So he tried to experience that, and then he got, after a lot of effort, enlightened. So this is part of the story that I knew before. But something that I was very, very happy to hear from Phra today and to understand is that Buddhism is more of how you do things and not necessarily what you have to do. So it's not about having a God that will make you feel better or not, or send you to heaven or to hell. It's much more about how you should live your life. So it's about a way of life, and there's no better way to understanding this than practicing. So it's not only about learnings and thoughts, but more about practicing a lot. So who knows, you can at some time awaken or enlightening. So this is what I got from the Buddhism
Right.
today.
This is what you discover in the, from the presentation this morning.
Perfect.
That in actually Buddhism is not based on faith, on belief only, but focusing on self-investigation until you understand what you do right or wrong, how you do things to be right. You know, that's come from your training.
Perfect.
Right.
And it was very interesting to hear this today because it sounds so simple. And especially now when the world is going a little bit crazy, with crazy people doing crazy stuff and bad things to each other, it's so nice to see that there is something simple there that could guide us to be better people, not just for ourselves, but also to the world.
Right.
So I was very happy to hear that. I know that it is not easy, definitely not easy, but it's
practical.
simple, but it's practical. And the other thing that you also asked is about the meditation. And I used to meditate before, only using the help of the telephone with the apps, some guided meditation. But the example that the Phra KK brought today, and he asked, okay, when your body needs energy, you give it food. When your body needs some doctor, you go to doctor. What do you do for your mind? So why not?
That's very logically.
It's very logical. We don't take care of our mind and our monkey mind all the time. And I can speak this for myself because I used to have really, really big issues to sleep because I'm very anxious. I was stressed all the time. Every time I got back from work, I couldn't stop thinking about the next day or the day before. I wasn't living the present. So whenever he says, take care of your mind, your mind also needs care. And then it became much more clear to me that whenever you're meditating, you are giving yourself a time. It's your time. You're taking care of yourself so you can love yourself, can be better to yourself, and then also be better to the other people.
So this is you mentioned earlier that it's very easy concept after you learn the core teaching in Buddhism, because Buddha talk about the nature. He talk about the nature, the way things are that happens around us, including your body. It's part of the big nature that you will explore and investigate this big nature until you find the truth, and then you can understand others' nature as well. It means that when you explore, let's say meditate and learn inside knowledge, we call the inside meditation, vipassana meditation, you will have right understanding about this nature or the truth, the impermanence, everything will change, everything is under, pleasure of changing, subject to change, and is under our control. Don't define who you are, is non-self. So this is happen around us, nature and environment. So this is Buddhism talk about this simple thing. So that's why it's part of life living in every day. And you also mentioned about the meditation, which is the food, of the mind. And this is very right, that people in nowadays be focusing on developing, only the materialism, talking about gaining, to fulfill only the sensation. But Buddhism view about this type of happiness still have this advantage, because it rely on other things, rely on material things, rely on expectation, relies on gaining. In the opposite way, when you want it but you don't get it, you will suffer. So this advantage, it doesn't mean that this is not happiness. This is part of happiness, but still have this advantage because you have to rely on it. So another type of happiness is called insight happiness. Is the real happiness. But how can we get through this? Develop from meditation. It means that you take care of your mind or give food for your mind through training, developing mind by the concentration meditation, samatha, or vipassana meditation, which is talking about wisdom development. That's the point of Buddhism, So, overall, I'm very impressed. You are an effort to learn more about Buddhism and meditation, and also gain some benefit from only this one-day meditation. Even it's very short, to learn about meditation. But at least you have right understanding.
Yeah.
So what Buddhism and also meditation practice.
And I'm really glad, and again I feel honored to have the chance to be here today and learn from you guys that actually live this and spread this. And I'm pretty sure I won't stop here. I have to take this for my life, and I'm very confident that it will make me a better person. Another thing that I totally identified to, and I think it's for me would be very good if I really get to do the things that when Phra KK says that lots of things can happen to you. This is not under control, but how you feel about it, this is under your control. So to accept, acknowledge, accept, and let go.
Yes.
I'm very bad on letting things go, especially the bad feelings. So I'm very bad at this today. So this I need to practice a lot, and I want to practice a lot because I can see myself being lighter and happier in the future if I just understand. So, okay, this happened to me. It wasn't good. I accepted, but let's move on. Next. And this is how life is, right? Like things happen. Okay, next. So it was very, again, it sounds simple. I think it's not, I understand it's not easy to do, but again, it's simple, and we just should do this. This is another thing that I'll try to bring to my regular life.
This is very marvelous skill. Yeah, it's very special skill that if you're able to accept, recognize something, worldly phenomena, happen or occur, and you relate it to these worldly phenomena and cause you have bad feeling, anxiety, depression, perspiration, and you have a mindfulness, to aware and don't dwell on it. That's the awakening mind. Yeah. So without training in the formal, there's a formal training in meditation. It's also, it's not easy, but you can train in daily life. We call the training mindfulness in daily life. You also do many activities in daily life. You move your body, you go to jogging, you doing typing, your office work, but you just add mindfulness. Do it mindfully, but it doesn't mean that you do it slowly, but you do it consciously. You know what I mean? Aware of what you are doing. That is also training mindfulness in daily life.
Not doing just like a robot or automatically.
Yes.
Actually noticing what you're doing.
But without formal. Slowly contemplate. Focus your mind on object. Also, without this, practice in daily life also not really develop to a higher level. You can gain some beneficial from daily practice, but if it's better if you're able to go longer retreat, to spend time full practice, 4 or 5 hours a day, by yourself. Keep silence. When you keep silence, you will have time to come back and observe, relate it to the natures of your mind and body. So, as a monk, every day every year, we call it annually, we will have Buddhist Lent, 3 months. In the rainy season, Buddhist monk will stay in the specific temple to come back and practice themselves. Because in
3 months?
Yes. This retreat already keep practicing, keep preserving since Buddha time to allow our Buddhist monk come back to practice themselves. Because after the Buddhist Lent or rain retreat, Buddhist monk will travel to spreading Buddhism. Some of Buddhist monk, they also don't really have time to practice intensively. So this is formal training. And in daily life, Buddhist monk, we also keep practicing daily routine, keep chanting twice a day, and also meditate twice a day, after morning chanting and evening chanting. That's our formal practicing. So as a lay people, how can you keep formal practicing? This is challenge. Okay, for those who have an intention to keep practicing keep practicing formally, you should have self-discipline. Wake up early as you used to meditate 5-10 minutes before you're gonna go to take shower and then go to work. But if you're able to keep doing like this, you have a healthy mind. It seems like you go to the gym every day, but this is mental exercise. Your mind will get healthier, you will fresher to go to work. This is the people in our day lack of this training. We always dwelling to something outside, which is not really concerned to take care mind.
Do you believe that this is one of the most important things that people are lacking in the world? Do you think that this is one of the reasons why we see so many wars, people fighting every time, people only concerned about getting money? Do you think this is one of the bad things in the world now?
According to the Noble Eightfold Path, or the threefold training in Buddhism, moral training talk about avoiding doing bad, learn to doing good. Mental training, to purify the mind, and wisdom training to develop one's understanding toward the natural law, the circumstances, the situation, to have a right view to, or let's say mindset, right view, right thoughts. It's not only mental training that we lacking of, also moral training, yes, which is easily leading people able to kill each other, able to steal. Stealing right now is not go to the bank and then stealing, steal money or steal some product, but it was talking about deeper than that. In our day, in the globalization, everything talking about the information, through internet technologies. Now we steal information. We have fake information to each other, make people misunderstanding. This is also including false speech and also stealing. So that's why, how can we restore this? To let people acknowledge about moral. If we have moral, lawyers and
presidents,
they don't work hard for the people in the country, because people don't have to use law or rules to dominate, but individually have moral, know what is right to do, what is wrong. So this is this is the system of development as a whole. They're talking about the root, talking about the first part of the development. Don't talk about the last process of the development. But nowadays, when people have problem, we will give medicine. We do the last process, but don't go to the root of the problem.
We're treating the symptoms, we're not treating the cause.
Yes. Even we develop technologies, develop in an education system to higher level, higher than PhD, but people don't have basic moral. People who finish higher, they can create bad thing than just people don't know anything. So that's why we have to come back to the most naturally of our life living. So one of the interesting Dharma talking about life living, because Buddhism focusing on training oneself, develop oneself to able to be your own refuge. All right. So that's why we focus to individually, to strength, your also physical and mental. The first thing, you should have a diligence to live your life or work, to keep right speech, right action, right livelihood. You need this power of diligence, effort. Keep doing, even it's hard, but keep doing. So one of the most famous Buddhist monk, he compared this quality, be diligent, like a bees. Like a bees. Bees, they work very hard, to collect a little bit, what do you call that?
Pollen?
Yes. Again, please.
Pollen.
Pollen. Pollen. Pollen?
Pollen with B. Pollen.
Pollen.
Yes.
To keep in or store in their house.
Yeah.
And bees, they also have a lot of harmonies. And one of the characteristics of the bees, they don't fly too high. It means that when you get some job, when you earn some money, when you have greed, you will seem to fly very high. It means expect too much, and when you fall down, you will hurt a lot. So that's why be a diligence, like a bees, that focusing on, collaborate with friends, collaborate with people, be mindful to live your life, because the heedfulness, have a heedfulness, and the characteristic of the bees, they also, how can I say, economy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. using things very carefully. When they go to these flowers,
they don't waste.
Yes. They also don't destroy it. Slowly and mindfully to collect the pollen.
Yes, perfect.
Yes. For creating very sweet honey. So compared to our life, if we want to have a best product, or best, let's say, have a most productivity, we should follow some kind of these things to always remind you to work like morally.
Yes. I love the example of the bees. I'll keep with me as well. It's very good.
So what do you understand about this Dharma?
This one?
Yeah, according to the life living.
Yeah. No, and I agree. I think that something that we are missing in the world is to think collectively.
Mm-hmm.
So people are very selfish now, are only worried about themselves. So we just forget the impact on the world or on the nature or people around us. So if we actually start to think more collectively, and also start to understand that we should produce more to the world and give back to the world, give back to other people, I think the world could be better. I don't know. I'm using different words that you did, but this is what I understood.
Yes.
So like the bees they work for the whole hive.
Yes.
And they even produce and they give to humans honey. So they are not only working for themselves as a big community, they always bring something very good and sweet to the world without destroying the flowers. So this is something, and there's another thing that I should take for myself, for my daily life, from what Prof. KG told us today about Buddhism is balance. So balance in the any extreme. So you don't need to produce too much, but you don't need either to take too much from the nature, take too much from the everybody. Everything should work on balance, and everything should be fine if you find the perfect balance.
That's a very good concept.
Yes.
Yes. To balance yourself, with the others.
Yes.
Yeah. Because don't forget one thing. We are social animal. Okay. We were related to peoples around. We live in a society. So without balance, the society will get in trouble, because everything will think about themselves only. That's losing balance. This is in the scientific ways. They also would talk about gaining. I used to learn some from some people that this is the law of the universe, that we have to, let's say, sharing each other, the earth, the world, sharing and oxygen. They share many good things to us, even share the natural resources. And also, our world also shared to the others. There's a galaxy, the stars, but we cannot see it. So people live in the society as well. Without sharing, we will lose balance. This is how we sustained the ecosystem. But because of people in nowadays grew up with this society and then delusion, have a lot of delusion and understanding that everything is mind. Everyone take too much attachment, too much dwelling with what they're owning. So people forgive each other harder, give things to each other easier, but expect back. because right now we produce everything more and more. We have a lot of things. We seems to giving each other easier, but expect what you get. So this is one of the things that human beings slowly distorted from what an original truth or nature, and its affect our life living.
Yeah. Would you mind if I ask you one thing?
Yes.
If this radio show could be broadcast or aired in the Western world, okay, and what would you like? What message would you like to give to Western people? Like a single message or a request? Or what would you like us Western people? Because again, I'm having the privilege of being here today. Spend a almost full day with Phra KK, and now an amazing half an hour with you. So I'm privileged to be here. There are like millions and millions and millions of people that don't have the chance I'm having now to get to know a different culture with lots of good things to share. So if you have the chance to have this radio show now being listened to millions and millions of Western people, what would you like to say? Is it a
very good question? And this will be the climax of our discussion before we going to finish this radio or podcast. Wow, it's such a big question. All right, I don't talk to something more complicated. Okay, I just focusing on something easy, that what we can do it. I want to focus on the natures of human beings, that everyone have compassion, loving kindness, and also no matter Westerner. This is including human beings. Yes. In general. We need, nowadays, to share loving kindness, compassion, love, respect to each other. It seems that every people slowly generating or creating their world, especially human world, and then we separate it, each other, and also separate it from the, let's say, environment, the nature. So what I want to say to people from all over the world, that would you mind, we come back to share love, kindness, compassion to all living beings, share to environment or this world that we are living, try to take care of this world to be a good place, for us for our next generation, because we won't live here for many years. We don't know. But what we can do, try our best to preserve natures and good air, natural resources, by enjoy, to work your duties. Do it with compassion, loving kindness, respect, and then you will participate to the world peace, to the serving this world.
Nice.
Yes. So I think our podcast and radio will end soon. Yeah. I also want you to share something, okay, as a last and final, to the people who are going to, who are interested to learn about meditation. Okay. How they say, as a you also represent a beginner. Okay.
So I think the first thing to do is start. Try. If you have the chance to get or to take like a retreat like this one day you're taking now, and I'm pretty sure it will be not the first. But as I mentioned, I started with some apps. I've read some books that also gave me some idea about meditation, but also Buddhism, but how meditation changed their life. So I read a book that changed me. The guy that he was having really bad times on his job. He was having trouble with drugs, and how meditating helped him to stop. He says, stop just reacting, and he started to respond. So what this guy said, that once he learned to meditate, he stopped just reacting very fast to things, but now he silenced his monkey mind, and he actually started to respond to things. So this is totally different, react and respond. So this, read, go for some knowledge about this. And again, it helped me to start to sleep. It is something that is very valuable for someone who doesn't sleep. And now it really helped me to become at least something that I believe is a better person for me, for my wife. In my intentions when I meditate, I always put to become a better person for the ones around me. And this is something that requires practice. I'm starting, and I really hope that I don't give up. So another thing that Phra and Yuson said a lot of times here, it requires and it demands effort. So it's not going to be easy.
Very nice.
It's not going to be easy, but the mind deserves to be taken care of. So let's take care of our minds.
Very nice, very nice. And yeah, thank you so much. Okay, for your time to being here with me as a partner to discuss about Dharma or the teaching of the Buddha. So last and final, I also, wish you, traveling with your wife.
Yes.
Yes. So I wish you, to have a good trip. Wish you to have a wonderful life with each other. Okay, it's free from all the troubles, free from all the bad thing, evil thing, and bad deeds. I wish all of you all the best. And thank you so much for all listeners. Keep listening as every day. Dharma in English through this Monkchat radio, and people who follow us from the podcast in YouTube. So this is come to the end for our Monkchat radio. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.